Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me. I hope that everyone had a great week. And here is what you could have been experiencing leading up to today and possibly into the upcoming weeks. I feel what some of the things that could have happened is connecting with people from your past, being emotionally triggered in some way, discussions or heated debates surrounding money, rejection, fear, itching. I feel like there was itching in isolated areas. Some of the specific ones that were popping up for me seem a little weird, but I felt like it was like armpits, knees, kind of the areas of your body that rub, right, where friction is created. So it kind of feels like in those areas is where the itching might have been, and maybe even like a small rash or some sort of skin irritations popping up. I feel like some people have been dealing with sinus issues, or maybe you're just feeling a little extra phlegmy and feel like you gotta clear your throat like that, or just waking up congested. So maybe a little bit of a scratchy throat. I feel like maybe some people were dealing with some level of heat exhaustion or feeling affected by the heat more than usual. And then maybe just an overall feeling of discomfort. I just kind of feel like even when you're feeling good, everyone may be feeling a little off. I just feel like the energies have been really, really intense. So maybe you're just feeling more sluggish, maybe having a little more self-doubt than usual, maybe just, kind of questioning life, and feeling like there's no progress, or maybe feeling discouraged in some way. I do feel like physically also some bloating, maybe some bowel movement issues, which are never fun, or any other kind of like stomach sensitivities. Again, feeling tired, fatigue, achy, sore muscles, anxiety, overthinking, sleepless nights, and a shift in perception. So there's been a lot of stuff happening energetically. So I think, really it could be any number of things that people might have been feeling. Now, as of today, we move into the 13th moon cycle of the year, which ends on July 24th. Then July 25th is a day out of time. And July 26th actually begins the new cycle of the galactic calendar. So between today, June 27th, through to July 24th, we are in the 13th cosmic moon of presence. The number 13 is the code of cosmic consciousness. And growing up, that number always resonated to me. And after learning about the galactic calendar and all these other aspects, I realized how awesome the number 13 is. And I know there's a lot of superstitions surrounding that number, but I almost feel like that was created purposefully because that number is connected to cosmic consciousness, right? And that has that's a powerful connection for you. So many indigenous and cosmic teachings honor the role of 13 in synchronizing heaven and earth. By re-embracing the presence of 13, we are aligning with the feminine forces of nature expressed as the spiral of ongoing circulation, endurance, transcendence, and universal interconnectedness. And 13 is the key to time itself. So over the next month, you could have anything from the previous 11 months come up in your awareness for you to be present with and to accept. It's about accepting things as they are happening in the present moment, as they are occurring, just being with it, feeling it. Your presence bestows depths of feeling, intimate information, and guidance that's held within the living intelligence of the moment. So it's your opportunity to overcome your challenges, elevate your thoughts and behaviors beyond your conditioning. And when I say conditioning, I mean what you were taught to believe before you were able to choose for yourself, right? A lot of times we come out of the womb and we learn the belief systems of our parents. So if you're born into Christianity or Judaism or Catholicism, you more than likely are going to be conditioned to follow that same faith. So you never really have the opportunity to take your time to learn it on your own. So these are the behaviors that you're going to be moving beyond. And religion isn't the only one. It's, if your parents gave you a perception that life is meant to be hard, you could be going through life believing that life is meant to be hard, and that's going to be your experience. So you have the opportunity to connect with yourself on a deeper level and realize how all life is interrelated. And when you're in the present, to every situation during this time as a divinely calibrated opportunity for personal clarity and growth. You transform your suffering into the beauty of human evolution, right? Honoring life as an eternal journey of being. Life is experiences. So basically look at this as if it were the month of December, and that you're about to move into the new year. It's a different kind of a new year. It's the galactic new year. So reflect on how far you've come, what you've learned, and what baggage you need to fully release before you move into the new year. Because you don't want to take it with you, right? Okay, so I won't be taking a live caller tonight since I'll be taking next week off to go meet the newest addition to our family. My sister had a beautiful little baby girl named Alana, and I'm so excited to meet my niece. She's absolutely the cutest little thing ever, and oh my gosh, I wish I could show you guys a picture because her hair just is crazy and wild, and I just love it so much. And she happened to be born on our mom's birthday, which was really, really special because of the fact that we lost our mother to cancer back in December of 2015. We dealt with the recent tragedy and loss of my son in March. So it's been a difficult year, and this is just a really beautiful new blessing, and I can't wait to go meet her and just smooch all over her and love on her as much as I can. And of course, hang out with my sister because I love her too. But anyway, so I won't be taking a caller. I'll be doing a double show. And before I get into the intuitive messages for the next 2 weeks, those of you in the Orlando area, I'm doing a group energy meditation and mimosa session this Saturday, June 29th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at CrossFit Winter Park. So if you haven't already registered and you're interested in coming, I would love to see you there. Come out, meet some like-minded people, get your energy Zen meditation on, slam a mimosa, and then I'll send you on your way, which probably isn't the best thing to do, but whatever. We'll have a good time. The cost is $20. Bring a yoga mat, and you can go to my Instagram page at AskRebecca today, and you can register. The link is in the bio. And you can register up until the day of, I believe. But play it safe and register sometime tomorrow if you're going to come. No pressure. Love you guys. Okay, let's get into what you can expect from tonight, June 27th through to July 11th as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. General themes. A major theme beginning over the next 2 weeks and will more than likely continue on indefinitely. And it has been happening your entire life. This energetic theme here is the heart's knowingness. This is something that is happening all the time, every second of every day. There's an inner heart knowingness. Some of us connect with our heart's knowingness. Some of us don't know what that is. Some of us do it subconsciously or unconsciously, and some of us don't do it at all. And I feel like this is being upgraded within us. So your heart's knowingness is the deep inner knowing of what is true and what is real. And you already know all the answers to all of your questions deep inside of you. Even when you tell yourself you don't know, you always know. And you know what is really happening. You know the right thing to do for you. You know who you really are. This knowing is deeply embedded within you, whether you realize it or not. And it takes a little work to get to this space of trusting what's coming through, trusting what is your heart's knowing. And that happens as you're purging things that you no longer need. And now is the time to realize all of this. And an example that I can give you so you can kind of recognize what I'm talking about is if you've ever been in a relationship that you've been unhappy in, right? You're miserable. Maybe it's a little toxic. You know, it's not a really good relationship. Deep down, you know, you want to break up. Maybe it's even a marriage. You know, you want to get divorced, but you just can't admit it to yourself, right? There's fear of hurting the other person. There's fear of making a mistake. There's fear of what your family and friends or their family and friends would say, but the knowing is there, right? You just are afraid to choose to either act on it, or you want to seek validation from someone else, or you just want to avoid it completely. So you tell yourself you don't know what you want. But if I took away all of the obstacles and the emotional guilt that would come along, you would be able to say, oh yeah, if there were no consequences, or I didn't have to worry about hurting anyone's feelings, I would totally leave. Right. So that's that inner knowing that's there. So work on connecting with that and listening to it and actually acting on it. Now, some of you may have some really new, fresh, different, and exciting things coming into your life that perfectly align with who you are, your core being. For some of you, you could have some unexpected trips, job opportunity that's out of your normal skill set, unexpected deep connections, and anything else that will allow you to make a quantum leap in your reality, right? It's a huge shift. Then there's those of you who are smack in the middle of a transition zone. You're sitting on the fence with one leg in the past and the other in the future. It's just a matter of time before you swing that leg over and you jump into the future and you start moving forward again. So enjoy the transition zone. Be okay being there. I know on some level it sucks because you feel like nothing's happening, and that's when the doubt creeps in and all of those negative emotions, but be okay with it. Just accept those. It's your opportunity to refresh, re-energize, strategize, and just chill out. Things will get moving once we get into July. A message coming through says to unleash your talents and your desires. If you've been holding back on your dreams, this message is specifically for you. If you're holding back in any way and there's something that you want to do, there's something, anything, whether it's career related, your own business, if it's a relationship, you're being encouraged to go for these things. Don't stunt your opportunity for growth out of fear of failure. Failure only exists in the mind. And the only time failure is a reality is when you give up and you quit, right? So just redirect your energies if something doesn't pan out, but you never give up. We're moving into another round of karmic cycles, and pluck the weeds in your garden and plant your seeds so they can grow. Basically, check in with your karmic footprint. Are you creating negative karma, or are you creating positive karma? Are you or others still waiting on you to complete something you said you would? Do it. If you said you were going to do something, maybe you said it forever ago and you still haven't done it, do it. Some of you will need to pay attention to being disciplined. You can easily find yourself having too much pleasure and relaxation over the next couple of weeks. Find the balance between the discipline and the hanging out and doing nothing. Action is still going to be needed on your part. Get clear and specific about your goals. And some of you may be struggling with uncertainty. Your heart says one thing, your head says another. Connect with your heart's knowingness. This is your perfect opportunity to practice that. Choose love. That's the easiest way I could describe it. Just choose what feels right, Connect with people someone that you might trust that will be able to give you some solid advice, some unbiased advice, right? And it's another round of the epic battle of fear and love that exists within you. So lots of things could be coming up where you're just like 1 minute feeling awesome and the next minute you're like, oh my gosh, I feel totally depressed and sad and I don't even know why. It's okay. There's a dominating energy of love through the divine feminine coming in to balance the divine masculine so you may experience lots of love, compassion, understanding, self-worth, respect, and support from this feminine energy. And even from feminine energies in your life. But sometimes this can cause us to go through another round of purging, right? You have to purge all those fear-based things so you can move into more of love. And there's no way around it, guys. I wish I could just say, hey, ping, you're whole, healthy, happy, you never have to feel fear again. That's just not reality, okay? We're going to feel fear, but you can master it. Another message is to take a break from your phone and electronic devices. The impact of the frequencies coming off of your devices, which is a level of radiation, is affecting your energy bodies and your physical body. Not to mention, you are feeding the dopamine receptors in your brain, which can cause you to become addicted. So, take a little break. For me, it's not so much about the addictive part, which I know there's plenty of people that cannot not pick up their phone or, have it in their hand consistently, but it really is about the health portion of it. I do believe there will be some reports coming out in the media, maybe even the mainstream media, about the level of poisoning from 5G networks that they're trying to put out, and cellular devices in general. I also feel like you will see some stories about tech giants like Facebook, and where they really originated and how they might try to break these corporations up. I can't really say too much because other platforms that I post this video on, there's been a lot of censorship on those platforms. So, we'll have to save that for another time. Anyway, the spirit animal energy for the next 2 weeks is the mouse. Mouse energy is detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. So when you're in balance these next 2 weeks, you'll feel organized, you're going to be resourceful, you're going to be prepared. When you're out of balance, you're going to be busy running around with your head cut off like a chicken, but you have no real purpose. You're just like busy. You're just creating busy work and you're not really getting anything majorly accomplished. And to bring yourself into balance, find a meaningful project, right? Because that's going to help that sense of sense of purpose. Work. For those of you that are employed and have a job, I do feel like some of you cannot afford to slack off at work, or you'll need to show your employer you're doing your job well. I don't know. I just feel like there might be a couple of instances where it's summer, right? We've got that. I just keep thinking summertime and the living's easy. And I think that can translate into the workforce where it's just kind of like you're burned out, you don't want to work, and so you don't, right? You find little busy work and maybe you're not doing everything you're supposed to be doing. I would just say, hey, make sure you look busy, right? Have papers everywhere, whatever, but still try to look organized. Okay, some of you may be facing some sort of a decision or choice either at work or about work. Some of you could misinterpret something as being bad that turns out to be good. So maybe, your boss gives you a new job and you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to do it. I hate it. This is horrible. It's not in my skill set. I don't want to learn it. And then you end up doing it and it's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this because this is really going to help me. And it's just an added thing on my resume. So I feel like it'll end up turning out good. And some of you could be tempted to mix business with pleasure. So careful with any office romances. Also, I'm feeling for some of you, make sure at the company 4th of July picnic, you're not getting too hammered and end up, doing something you regret or saying something that you regret or something that could come back to haunt you, maybe in a joking way. Maybe some video gets passed around of you or some photos, but then in the the same breath, like it could be something that makes you look really, really bad. So just be mindful and consume in moderation. And some of you may have some help from a woman at work that really is going to, I feel like, take you to the next level in some way. So maybe this is a person that's in a position to promote you or is your boss. For some of you, I feel like it's just a coworker that kind of helps you dig yourself out of the hole. Maybe you're behind on a couple of projects and this person comes in and is like, hey, I'm gonna help you. And then some of you, I feel like you need to bring an attitude of love and compassion to work. I feel like you're feeling a little, I don't know, some discontent. Maybe you're just frustrated and angry and you're not really happy about your work environment. And, maybe there's some miserable people there. Misery loves company. So maybe the morale is down a little bit. So I kind of just feel like, you know what, bring love and compassion to work, have love and compassion for your coworkers and for yourself. And then maybe that will lift the energy a little bit. Those of you that are looking for a job, some of you need to be more methodical and disciplined in your job search. I feel like some of you do a really, really great job with this, but I do feel others are kind of like, I'll go online, look here, there, but you're really not putting your all into it. But then when somebody asks you like, oh, how's the job search going? You're basically like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not having any luck. There's no jobs out there. But literally you're not disciplined and methodical about getting it done. Now, I also feel like when you get an interview, I feel like use those qualities to describe yourself, right? So I feel like if you can say, oh, I'm methodical, I'm very disciplined and organized, you'll just come across as like, ooh. So maybe, keep that in mind when you're looking. You'll get the job is what I feel, basically, if you can sell yourself in that way. And I do feel some of you will be getting hired by a feminine energy. I do feel, again, there's going to be a lot of leaps and bounds and changes in the work environment, whether you're currently employed or not. I just feel like there's a lot of positive changes coming for everyone. Love, those of you that are in a committed relationship, I do feel lots of positive energy in love. Love is, to me, it feels like it's center stage. I feel like many of you will have a positive outlook about a relationship. You're reconnecting, you're kind of getting your mojo back within the relationship. It really feels like there could be some engagements, maybe meeting each other's parents, going on vacation together for the first time. Maybe you get pregnant. I don't know. Maybe you're having a baby. Just about everything and anything that feels good in love, right? Positive in this area. I just feel happiness for those of you in healthy relationships, which I think is good because I feel like there's been some intense energies lately. Lastly, for a few of you, this is going to look more like a realization in the way of, if you want a relationship to be successful, you can't just expect it to happen, right? Like, you have to have action and intention. It's necessary for a relationship. There has to be a willingness to talk and listen to each other, to your partner. So there's work involved. And if the two of you just can't seem to get on the same page, reach out, get some help, whether it's you or, if the other person doesn't want to do it, maybe you go get an outside perspective to kind of help you in some positive changes that you can make, which will in turn affect your partner positively. Those of you that are single, I'm feeling brand new love. Love is in the air, so much so that I just feel like everybody could get carried away with the idea of being in love, or not even the idea of just being in love, that new, fresh, exciting love just kind of feels like is fluttering around. And this holds true for the couples out there as well. So maintain balance and perspective, because if you're all like lovey-dovey and in your love, you can neglect other areas of your life. So try to stay balanced. But if you are single, get out and mingle over the next few weeks. I definitely feel I just keep getting lovers in love and new soul connections. And I just feel like there's a lot of positive there. Finances. Some of you may expect rewards without doing your part. Good luck with that, okay? Because that's probably not going to work out in your favor. Some of you won't care about finances this week at all because, again, you're going to be blissed out in the love department. And some of you will be receiving some positive news about your finances. This could be anything from getting a pay raise, getting a bonus, getting, some sort of other financial gift from someone else, or finding a $20 bill on the floor. I mean, it's just any kind of positive news. Maybe you get the financing that you need for the house you wanted. So lots of positive things there. Now, some of you could look into a side project, I feel. And hold on here. I've got to... Okay, there we go. My fault. Okay, sorry guys, multitasking. I got to keep track of time. Oh, I just got my 2-minute warning. Okay, so so some of you are going to be receiving some positive news about your finances, and some of you could look into a side project that is tapping into your creativity to make extra money, as well as receiving some help from women in your life. And health. Love and support yourself. Some of you need to let go and forgive past wounds. Some of you need to work on trusting yourself. For the most part, everyone should be feeling pretty good, with some days where you could be tired, right? Like there's that weird energy, so it's going to be weird again. Spirituality. Lots of awakenings and spiritual growth happening. Some of you may find a mentor, a coach, or a spiritual counselor that really helps you. Some of you may have some experiences of clairvoyance and other psychic abilities coming online. You'll be gaining deeper spiritual understandings and knowledge. So it's a very, very, very powerful time. It's a very exciting time. And I cannot wait for more and more of you to tap into your own gifts and abilities. It's just an awesome time. All right, well, that's all the time that we have for tonight. I hope that everyone has a great 2 weeks. I look forward to seeing those of you coming to this Saturday's Meditation and Mimosas. And lastly, before I go, if you'd like to book an appointment, you can call or text me at 407-374-3133. Bye.